Star Wars 7x7 episode 2766. It's another What to Watch Now episode, and over the past couple of Saturdays, I have checked out the Family Guy parodies of Star Wars, aka A New Hope, and The Empire Strikes Back, so yeah, I figured I would finish off the trilogy. I did not have very high hopes about it, but I have to say that it turned out to be the best and also the worst of the three. Punch it! Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, the Family Guy Return of the Jedi parody is called It's a Trap. It takes place in Season 9, so it was Season 6 for the first one, Season 8 for the second one, Season 9 for the third one. And the irony of it is that when the episode opens, everything about it is approached as a yeah, we really didn't want to do this, but we're doing it anyway vibe. Like, it's the same conceit, the power goes out, and the characters, as they do in this cartoon, break the fourth wall, and they're like, oh, so are we going to talk about Return of the Jedi now? And Peter Griffin, the dad of the family, is like, yeah, we might as well get it over with. And then they cut to the Return of the Jedi opening crawl, and they do funny things with the crawl, but in this particular one, it's a rambling monologue from presumably Seth MacFarlane, the creator of the show, saying, yeah, we didn't want to do this, and we were kind of burned out, but Fox wanted the money, and so they're making us do it, and we really didn't want to, so we had the assistants write it. And if that's the case, then they gotta give the assistants more to do on that show, because honestly, some of the good stuff in the show is better than any of what happened in Star Wars and the Empire one. Also, there are a couple of very objectionable things, and I suppose, you know, one of the things you learn with something like Family Guy is where your lines are in terms of comedy and what you actually find funny versus what you find offensive, and that's one thing I can say consistently for Family Guy, is that it always shows me where my lines are, for sure, and there are a couple of really not cool things that happen in this particular episode. But I do have positive things to say about it. Like, for one thing, this is the only one of the three that actually made me want to actively rewatch the original movie. I mean, yeah, I'll always watch A New Hope or Empire if they're on, but this one actually made me think, geez, I haven't watched Return of the Jedi from end to end in a while. Like, I would like to do that again. So it got me actually excited about seeing Return of the Jedi again for my next viewing. And additionally, the music. I mean, they're using John Williams' music, and you still get the feels, or at least I did. Like, everything about the moment in Tatooine at the pit of the Sarlacc where they're about to put Luke in, and that whole fight scene that erupts from there. I mean, the music for the real movie gives me chills and shivers, and like, I get emotional over that scene, and I got emotional over it watching it in Family Guy too. Like, same emotions, same feelings. Like, it's just amazing. I'll also say that a lot of the scenes on Endor made me laugh out loud. Like Han trying to sneak up on the scout trooper and stepping on a branch, and the scout trooper doesn't hear it, so he continues moving forward. He steps on various other objects, and they let that gag run very well, so that was great. The actual speeder bike chase is done with bicycles instead of speeder bikes, and the Pee Wee Herman cameo as a result of this is great and is not questionable at all. It's just a straight up Pee Wee Herman of Pee Wee's Big Adventure kind of tie into things. And there's a bit about 3PO using his magic, quote unquote, and about Ewoks knowing the finer points of cosmetology. Like, it goes on, and there's a lot of good stuff there. I'll also say that the passing gas kind of things, like, sometimes it gets me, sometimes it doesn't. Like, I guess I have to be in the right kind of mood for that kind of humor. But I have to say, the way that they did it in this episode with Han/Peter Griffin thawing from the carbonite and having a lot of gas passing while that process is happening, like, it reminded me of the scene in the original Austin Powers where he's unfrozen and he's urinating forever afterward. Like, yeah, it was very well executed, as well as Emperor Palpatine being by himself in the throne room, passing gas, then hearing Darth Vader Stewie wanting to come up and using Force lightning to try to burn away the scent. I thought that was actually well done. There's also more inside joke stuff about Seth Green specifically, who does the voice of Chris in the show and who is playing the character of Luke Skywalker in these. So there are various taunts related to Seth Green and about whether he is actually a worthwhile person in real life and what creatively he's put into the world is worthwhile. Like, that's the sort of thing that the Emperor taunts Chris with to get him to light up his lightsaber to try to strike the Emperor down. And there's more conversations about it that happen at the end of the show too. So that's very inside humory kind of stuff. And the other thing I'll share that was exciting was, well, the end credits, but I'm kind of going to bury the lead on this one a little bit. So D. Bradley Baker, who is the voice of the clones in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch, etc., he's a voice in this thing, which is exciting. Also, there's somebody named Chris Cox who does voices for Star Wars video games, including most recently Jedi Fallen Order, and he does voice work in this. But probably the biggest, most exciting name to appear in the credits is Carrie Fisher. Yes, our beloved Princess Leia actually does the voice of Mon Mothma in this episode, and I had that moment where they're on the Home One and Mon Mothma comes in for the briefing and starts talking, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I didn't know, if somebody had ever told me, I didn't remember, but oh man, the thrill of hearing her voice was just beyond spectacular. So yeah, there you go. I would say, yeah, still can't quite comfortably recommend these episodes, like if you're okay with being offended, I guess, you can consider that. Just, I will say again, it was the best and the worst in terms of some of the things that it offered, but yeah, it's worth your time if you want to laugh and you can stand a couple of things that are in really poor taste. And so there you go. That is going to do it for my look at the Family Guy parody of Return of the Jedi, which was called It's a Trap, and that is going to do it for this episode of the show. It just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it, as always, and may the Force be with you, wherever in the world you may be.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.